It's easy to feel a little dirty when you play a video game, knowing that every time you throw a bowling ball down that lane, you're being brainwashed into becoming a more violent person. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, that's not true, I'm a good person. I return my shopping cart to the cart corral. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that's simply false. You're terrible and you need help. In the past decade or so, people's perception of video games has shifted from these are murderer recruitment devices to, maybe this can help stop my son from eating sand. I think it was obvious from the start that games can be more than just fun. We all know they can be an escape or a distraction, but I think they could be even more. Therapists are actually now looking to use video games to help their patients. But look at me. Do I look fit to be telling you about therapy? So instead, I wanted to look at a few games in particular and the ways they have helped and can help people. The first game is Skate 3. Before I turned into a 21-year-old geriatric, I was very into skating. When I wasn't busy tearing it up on the old wooden plank, I was playing Skate 3. Look out, Tony, I'm coming for your career. Skate 3 was a huge part of my life in high school. Not even joking, this was how I learned about keyframes. I'd come home from school, ignore my homework, and just start ripping through Port Carverton. Make sure you guys do your homework though. Teenagers are not really equipped with the ability to process and reflect on their lives. So this game kind of serves as a time where you could just be alone with your thoughts. I would process my day and recall different events, and I'd also use this time to discover new music. When I would be down in the dumps, playing through this game really gave me the space to understand what I was feeling. Sometimes you just need to turn off the Blink-182s and the Fall Out Boys and just think. But thinking and reflecting is hard. That's where Skate 3 comes in. I feel like the satisfying flow of the game can help prevent just looping through your thoughts. You naturally move through the map and your mind. It's like the map can be a physical representation of your brain where you could see the thought process move, and you really thought this game was about skateboarding. Which brings me to my next point. You start associating certain parts of the map with specific thoughts or memories, and this can help you see the progress you've made since the last time you were there. Also, landing mad dick flips can make you feel pretty dope. There's no real threat in the game, nothing to feel pressured to do. It's just you, your board, and your mind. And also a bunch of brainless NPCs. Skate 3 is like therapy, but cheap. It gives you the space and time to process your thoughts, while giving you the freedom to not feel stuck in one spot. It's pretty crazy to think about all the growth I've made while playing this Mayo-endorsed game. The second game I'd like to talk about is Super Mario World. Yeah, there are other Mario games, but I'm talking about this one. Go make your own damn video about them. World is probably the easiest of the original Mario games, which isn't saying much. It still has the challenge and frustration that older games have, but not to the point where it pushes you to the edge of your sanity. It still gets close though. I'm one of those losers that thinks games should be fun. Yes, that is my excuse for being bad at them. Even when Super Mario World gets annoying and frustrating, it's still kind of fun. There are many challenges that you have to overcome, but with such short levels, it's hard to give up. Super Mario World is one of the few games I've actually played all the way through. I just told myself I'd beat it a few summers ago, and I surprisingly did. It was hard as balls, it was frustrating, but it was very fun and very rewarding. The game has a good balance of challenge and fun, and finally getting through the end feels amazing as a baby level gamer. Beating a 90s platformer gives you the confidence and perspective that with dedication and practice, anything is possible. Almost anything is possible. The third game, of course, is Animal Crossing: New Horizons, the face of video game therapy. This game played a very important role for millions of people during the early days of the pandemic, at least those who were able to get it. I'll be honest though, I only really played this game for the first 10 days after I downloaded it on release day. Regardless, it was such a worldwide phenomenon that I just had to include it. The release of this game couldn't have been more perfect. New Horizons was the exact game people needed to finally feel in control of their lives. Some people took it to another level though, banishing and harassing any of those they deemed ugly. I know a lot of us wouldn't have lasted on this island. I knew I wouldn't care for the game as much, so I let my brother be the island owner. We would take turns playing the game, and it was the only thing we really had going for us at the time. We would work towards a common goal when it was our turn, and we'd show off our creations and captures as we progressed. It also gave us a small community to interact with when we couldn't see our friends. We had the freedom to create our island the way we wanted, and we would customize and change almost everything in the game. But don't judge my house. I stopped playing while I was in the middle of redoing it. Our experiences with the game weren't as crazy as the rest of the player base though. The creations and community spawned by this game are truly beautiful and somewhat scary. It provided a blank slate of an island and people went mad with creativity. They could finally be in control again. I was debating between putting this or The Sims on the list, but the answer came to me pretty quickly. There are other games like Animal Crossing New Horizons. Is it Animal Crossing's New? Okay. There are other games like Animal Crossing New Horizons, but none were timed as perfectly as this game. Its laid-back nature gave people a place to escape to when life was not at all laid back. A place where they can be in complete control of their island and express themselves in any way they want. So how can games help us? In many ways. At the end of the day, we're all different. We may play different games and enjoy them in different ways, but it's clear that these games can be therapeutic. Video games don't have to only be something we escape to. They can help us reflect on our reality and improve ourselves, and it's really great to see that we're finally realizing that. There's more research going into the science and therapy behind video games, but again, I don't know about that shit. I consider this a meal. We often forget that progress happens in small steps that are too subtle to notice. So I think having a tangible visualization of our progress can help remind us of how far we've come. But this confidence building is just one of the many positives that video games can provide. They can help improve our physical abilities such as kicking your grandma's ass. They can help improve our physical abilities such as reaction time and hand-eye coordination, but they can also help our mental abilities like reflection and critical thinking. There's definitely some overlap in what these games can do for us, but I just wanted to share a few games that are important to me. I'd love to hear what games have helped you and in what ways, so feel free to leave a comment. I read them all. Thank you for watching.